Alrighty guys, so this is page 28 from last night's homework. I just wanted to go over it real quick to make sure we're all on the same page. So this has the 4 different representations of a proportional function. It has the verbal representation, the table representation, the equation representation, and the graph representation. So the verbal description says the PTA has purchased packages of hot cocoa for your class. The class shares 4 packages each day. We can almost read the word each as per, 4 packages per day. How many packages will be used after 10 days? So what we want to do is we want to first identify our constant of proportionality. That's really important for us to know in any type of proportional problem. We want to look at the 4 packages each day. That's our constant of proportionality. 4 packages each day, per day. And so you notice that our table is labeled days and packages, days being our IV and packages being our DV. So I can go ahead and fill in my table with values. So on the first day, we sold or shared 4 packages. On my second day, we shared 8. We're adding 4 packages each day. The third day, there were 12. The fourth day, there were 16. The fifth day, there were 20. The sixth day, there was 24. The seventh day, 28. Eighth day, 32. Ninth day, 36. And if I were to go one further to kind of answer the question it's asking, how many packages after 10 days? On the 10th day, there will be 40 packages. Notice that this is proportional because any time in this table I divide my DV by my IV, I'm going to get the same number, no matter which pair of points I pick. 24 divided by 6, 36 divided by 9, they all give me a COP, constant of proportionality, of 4 packages per day. When I go to write my equation relating y and x, my dv and my iv, I get the equation y equals 4x. Y is the number of packages, the dv, x is the number of days. To get the number of packages, I multiply 4 times however many days there had been. So if I think about how many packages are on the 10th day, all I have to do is 4 times 10, which gives me the answer 40 packages. And then finally, I can graph this. If I count each box as 1, and maybe it's a good idea to count each box for 4 on my y-axis, since that's how my packages are increasing. All I need to do is plot my points from my table. And we notice they make a straight line, which tells me that this function is a linear function. All proportional relationships will be linear. I'm going to do now an example from tonight's homework. So for tonight's homework, you're going to have to do 4 representations, table, graph, equation, and a verbal description for 4 different kind of scenarios. The first scenario, if we read the verbal description, again has to do with me in a food eating contest. I used to be a pie champion and now I'm a hot dog eating champion. So the verbal problem says Miss Chenard entered a hot dog eating contest. She can eat 5 hot dogs per minute. So right there, immediately I can see my constant of proportionality. 5 hot dogs per minute means that I can eat 5 hot dogs for every 1 minute, which is pretty impressive. So my constant of proportionality is 5 hot dogs per minute. And remember, it's dv per IV. So my dv, as we can see in the table, is hot dogs, and my IV, as we can see in the table, is minutes. And if we look at all these ratios, 10 divided by 2, 25 divided by 5, and 35 divided by 7, all give me that same constant of proportionality, which is 5. So I'm going to go ahead and plot whatever ones actually fit on my graph. So 0, 0. Oh, first I have to read directions actually. It says to label your axes. So my x-axis, which is this one, needs to be labeled minutes. And my y-axis, which is this one, needs to be labeled hot dogs. And so the only points that are going to fit here are the points 0, 0 and the point 2, 10. My other point's going to go off the graph, which is fine. I'll just plot the ones that I can fit. And so I get this nice straight line that's going to continue onwards. We can put an arrow at the end of our line to show that it's going onwards. Again, we can see from the graph, this is a linear function. All proportional relationships are linear. In fact, fun fact that we're going to talk about next week in class, all proportional relationships are going to start at 0, 0. And then the last piece that I need to do is write my equation. I know my IV is minutes, my dV is hot dogs, so the rule relating my dV to my IV is take y and multiply 5 and x to get it. So in order to get my dV, all I need to do is multiply my IV by 5.